Hello, friends. I'm your host, Ben. Welcome to What's Going On, weekly roundtable, just about what's going on. We've got some great people here. We're just gonna talk about whatever. I don't even know. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about. I might know where we're starting. I don't know where it's gonna go. Could go anywhere. So yeah, that's the fun of this. Thanks for watching, everybody out there in streaming land. We appreciate it. You're a part of the show too. So anytime you've got something to say about what we're talking about, you're like, oh yeah, I did that too, or you have a question about something, whatever it is, throw it in the chat. We'll throw it up on screen. We'll talk about it. All that jazz. That's enough for me. Let's bring everybody in and get it started. Everybody, welcome to the show. Rachel, Armando, Justin, and JR. What is up, friends?
Hey.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. Let's do the intro thing. Let's go around in a circle. Rachel, we'll start with you as always. At this point, you're not so much a guest as you're like a guest, but you're like an ever-present guest slash co-host. I don't know what to call you, except I call you my friend. Welcome to the show. Let everybody know what's going on. How about that? That was nice.
That was lovely. I call you my colleague.
So close. So maybe one day.
Maybe one day. You'll get into my circle. Hi guys, I'm Rachel. I'm a co-executive producer of the channel, and I have a show that I host every Wednesday called Joey Posting. And I'm a resident guest of this show, so I'm very happy to be here and happy to find out what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Armando, what's up, friend?
Hey, hi, I'm Armando.
Really quickly, though, it looks like we are having some trouble streaming to Twitch right now. People out there in the chat look like they're not seeing us, and I just got a little message saying we're having trouble streaming to Twitch. This may be an issue on Twitch's end. We'll keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. Please check Switch. We're live. We're back, everybody. Hell yeah. Whatever it was, Twitch gods, I don't know, took care of it. Whatever that was. They're trying to keep us off the air because they don't want Armando to spill the secrets. But he knows him. He's going to spill some of them. Armando, what's going on? Welcome back.
Hey, yeah, hi. Happy to be here. I'm Armando Torres. What are we doing? We do plugs? What's going on?
Yeah, you're just letting people know who you are and where they can find you. Yeah, plug yourself.
Yeah. Hey, hi, I'm Armando Torres. I'm a comedian. I do stand up. I was on a show called Laugh After Dark that's coming out soon, and then a show called The Last Laugh that comes out on September 9th. I work for Rooster Teeth Funhouse. We play video games. We tell jokes. Come check it out. That's it.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Justin, who are you? Where can people find you?
Well, I am Justin Avery Smith, or Just a Very Smith on Twitter. I had to be creative because they wouldn't let me use the whole thing, so I'm like, okay, I'll take out the in and I'll be just a very Smith because I am very Smith. I mean, look at me.
You're a very Smith, Justin. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm a headline contributor for the Whole Wheat Post, which is a fun little, like, it satirizes health and fitness magazines and that sort of thing. So if you want a good laugh, and also some very satirical tips.
Bad. Don't follow their tips though, right? I mean, they're not going to help you.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. But it's still funny. I still love the people. It's great.
Great. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. And last but certainly not least, GR Sweetie, what's going on?
Hi. Not a lot. I'm here, I guess.
yeah, you are. I love it. That's perfect. You're on Twitter, yes?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at JRobertSweeney. I co-host a couple podcasts, but mostly I am technically a warm body. So.
I mean, that's better than the alternative, my friend.
Five panels look nicer than 4. So
you're more than just a panel filler. We're all here to just chat and talk about some stuff. Right before the show started, we were talking about when Sweden changed the way that they were driving overnight. And at first we said, that's so crazy. Why would they do that overnight? But then, as Rachel pointed out, why would they do it partly, right? Why would they do it only in part of a country and then roll it out? Of course, you have to do it all at once. And midnight's probably the best time to do it because there are less cars on the road. So yeah, I think that's a pretty funny thing about something that happened not here in this country that made me chuckle. Something else that happened recently, and it's juvenile, but man, it made me laugh. Was the
Hold
thing?
on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to
please.
interrupt, but I just made a. You just said that midnight is the time they did it because there's less cars on the road. That doesn't mean there's no cars on the road. So what do you do at midnight? Do you just drift over into the other lane?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they at one point just asked did they put a police officer on every road? I don't know. But you would think that anybody out at midnight might be I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's not the best time. Maybe like 6 a.m. would be the best time, or 4 a.m. or something like that.
There was definitely. Sorry, go for it.
No, there's a cop in every car, just leans over and is like, "It's time."
Makes it sound like The Purge or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it could have gone, right?
Yeah. Tina says, wait, what about the side of the car with the steering wheel? But I think that just means, you were now on the other side. You were now on the other side with the steering wheel, which is really disconcerting if you'd never done that before. Oh no, I think maybe we're
cars.
Twitch is going crazy, so we're there. We are. We're going back and forth. It is not on our end though, everybody. Just so you know. So I'm excited for once the technical problems not to be my technical problems, but Twitch's. Hopefully we'll get that cleared up. But yeah, what I was saying was it's super juvenile, and I know I shouldn't have laughed as hard as I did about it. But I don't. Did any of you hear about the New Zealand spread your legs New Zealand? That was a hashtag on Twitter yesterday, and my fiance told me about it. So I searched on Twitter, spread your legs. Let me be clear. You really want to add the New Zealand, the NZ. I did not know Twitter got so porny. I got to be honest, but it gets very porny very quickly, depending what you search for. Yes, Rachel, aside.
Ben, I could have told you that. I do follow some adult film actors, and it's a whole part of Twitter. You can't like them because they'll show up on your likes, but you can look.
Oh no, you can like them. Don't fucking jerk off in the shroud of darkness. All right, own it. I fucking every time I jerk off, I take a link of whatever video I watch and I post it on my own Facebook wall.
It does crack me up about how that is an option, like on Pornhub. It's like share, and you're like, why would I share this? But Armando shares it.
Yeah,
it's like everybody, this is what I'm angry to right now.
Okay. You get to just like watch a movie and be like super into movies, but like I can't just be like super into pornography.
You're right.
My entire identity is based off of different porn.
I mean, you do you. No shame, no kink shaming here.
Literally, you do you.
Literally, you do you however you want. Yeah. Other Dave Thomas says he connects his Pornhub to his LinkedIn to let employers know what he's wanking to, which I think is important as well. Also, I don't know why.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah. Wanked in. There it is. We got a new business opportunity. Get a. I almost said Santa Fe on the phone. I didn't mean to. You know what's the California?
What is it?
Santa
Silicon Valley.
It's Santa
Fe. It's me, your shitty cousin Albuquerque. You know that terrible business idea you've been looking for? Well, listen to this.
That's more of a Santa Fe idea.
I love it.
Just Valley, I have an idea that'll make you come and
Hey, thanks for coming in, Ben. I took a look at your resume, and you are a excellent client. Couldn't help but notice though that you only jerk off to Latina porn. What's up with that, bud? Huh? A little bit of a bias there, huh?
You like what you like,
Right.
and I think that's one of the reasons. I think I would be a good fit here.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I do see a lot of foot porn here, so I'm happy to say welcome to Foot Locker, bud. Happy to have you.
It is strange that I really like Latina feet when really there's no way of knowing whose foot that really is. There's a lot of trust involved in that.
Yeah, foot's a foot when the lights are off, bud.
Right?
I guess my question is, does watching threesomes mark you as more of a team player?
Yeah, and like if you like bondage videos, does that mean you're willing to really push yourself past maybe to an extreme, like other workers maybe wouldn't?
And are compilations indicative that you can work in a fast-paced?
Yeah, that's very good. As you can see from my my fan of edging, my biggest weakness is that I try too hard.
I believe the fact that I watched volumes 1 through 27 of Ass Blasters shows a real stick with itness. A lot of people just quit after the first couple volumes, but I had to know how it ended.
Yeah,
all over her back.
So the fact that I know the real names of my favorite porn stars shows I have great attention to detail.
Yeah, you know what?
The fact that I have a folder. The fact that I have a folder report shows that I'm a great organizer.
Yeah.
You know what, Santa Fe? You can't have this idea. I'm keeping it.
This is a too much bread exclusive.
This is too good. This is too good for Santa Fe. Just ruin it. Your crystals and shit.
I can see where like it should have connected in your brain. Like I get where you were going, but just Santa the poll.
Like, yeah.
Why?
So the second I said it, I was like, this isn't right. I was like, there's the name of a city up there in Silicon Valley. But it's not Santa Fe. It's not Santa Fe. Anywho. So yeah, Spread Your Legs New Zealand. The hashtag started because when the health minister of New Zealand held a press conference yesterday about COVID, he made a little bit of a blunder in speaking, and I'm going to bring it up, and I would like you not just to hear him, but the person standing next to him. I want you to watch their face because it really is the best part of the whole thing. So see if you can catch this gaffe. Here we go.
Oh, I can't hear him.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, God damn it. I did the thing. I did the thing where I don't share the sound because I did the thing. So let's do this again. It's much funnier with the sound on.
Can you do a comedic interpretation of the sound, Ben?
Right then. Let me kind of just give it away because it's here we go.
Okay, it is a challenge in higher density areas for people to get outside and to spread their legs when they are short distance to get to somewhere where they can be further away from other people.
That's it. That's it.
The eyebrows just
the eyebrows. When he says spread your legs instead of stretch your legs, it's fantastic. And I love the eyebrows so much. For those who didn't see it, the guy with the glasses sort of does the Groucho Marx eyebrow very subtly. Here, let's see if we can catch it again right here. You can see him smirking right there because he just said it. He's just smirking to himself, and then he's going to do.
So in some cases, it might be more sensitive.
Oh, nope, you'd already done it.
When they're surrounded by other people, and so in some cases, when they are.
There it is.
When
just
when
one well-placed
people.
shrug
So
of his
in some
eyes
cases,
was perfect. So here's what I love about it. Not only is it my just juvenile sensibility that he said spread your legs, but what I love is that New Zealand is such a beautifully innocent country in some ways that they are laughing about this, but it never, like if you go to Twitter and that hashtag, nobody's gross. There's just a bunch of pictures of like people outside, like laying down in fields, like spreading their legs, but with pants, like with clothing on. Like it's very wholesome. The whole country was like, oh, we know what you meant. But like in this country, we would have ripped them apart. Like we would have, right? It would have been a thing. And over there, it was just like, oh, good one. You know, good one. Like it was the most wholesome outcome for somebody who said spread your legs possible. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that New Zealand was dirty enough to laugh at it, but classy enough not to make it more than it already was. So that's my take on that.
America, that's grounds for a fucking recall election, baby. Get them out of office. Take them out.
There would have been T-shirts. There would have been porn parodies. There would have been.
Yeah, there would have been T-shirts immediately. There would have been people selling T-shirts outside of that press conference as soon as it was done.
The press conference itself would have devolved into nothing but the fact that he was able to continue saying what he was saying after that happened, and all he got was an eyebrow raise. Like that speaks to something that it wasn't even. He didn't even let out a heyo or a nice or something like that. Like,
yeah, it was just like symbolic. That was it. I didn't.
Ben, you're breaking up real bad, Ben.
Yeah, you're like.
How about now?
Oh, that's much better.
Great. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I don't know. We're gonna move on.
I will say that it's funny that spread your legs is a big deal in New Zealand, because when I think of New Zealand, all I can think about is Lorde and her like highly polarizing new album, and the fact that the album title is like the album cover is like her doing this, and so I don't know what's in the air over there, but this was a very wholesome cover too. Have you seen it? Have you seen it, Ben?
I have seen, yes, I've seen the Lorde cover. I'm not a giant fan of the Lorde album. I really like the first album, but I don't love this one. But hey, I don't care. Do your thing, Lorde. You be you, Lorde. I think it's really funny. I do feel like she's sort of been, I can't tell whether she's trolling. Like in some of her interviews, she's been like really out there with some of her answers. And I'm like, either she's gone like full rock star crazy, which is very possible, or she's gone like Robert Pattinson, like I'm gonna make fun of this from the inside. I don't know if anybody watches Robert Pattinson interviews, but if you haven't, do yourself a favor and check them out on YouTube. They're so good. My favorite Robert Pattinson, sorry, this is an aside, but he told Vanity Fair, they were like, how did you want to be an actor? And he told them a whole story about watching a clown die in the circus when he was a kid, and it was a long story about his father took him to the thing, and they fucking printed it in Vanity Fair, and then it's completely made up. He like completely made it up, and then the next interview he did like after Vanity Fair, he was like, "Yeah, I totally made that up." They asked me like how I became an actor. He's like, "I just wanted to tell him a funny story," and I just think that's amazing, and I think that it's amazing that he keeps getting away with trolling fucking Hollywood. There are very few people who can do that.
I met Robert Pattinson outside of the what was it? The Improv in LA, here in LA.
Please tell him he wasn't an asshole.
Oh no, he was amazing. He was weirdly enough, I don't know if they're like friends or what the deal was, but he showed up there with Bo Burnham. And this was several years ago. I wasn't even on the show. I was just like there to watch. He was there, and I went outside to smoke a cigarette, and he was standing there, and I immediately like recognized him. But there's this thing with like famous people where like your brain is like, oh, I know you, but it won't immediately go like, I know you from TV. So it hits the same part that's like, oh fuck, like I know you. Where have I seen? Or were you at like a party that I was at, or so you go over to talk to them. And then as immediately it'll dawn on you like, oh, I don't know you from my life. I know you from your life. You're so famous that I just know who you are. And he was a super cool guy. We talked for like 5 minutes, and then somebody else came up to him and went, "Hey, I know you." And he goes, yeah, and they go, yeah, you were in Creed, and he just goes, what? And they go, yeah, I saw you in Creed. Man, I love Rocky. And then he walked away. I don't know if that was part of the bit. Like, I don't know. I have no follow-up story, but that somebody out Robert Pattinson. It's just
that's amazing.
Man, I love Rocky.
I love Rocky. Oh man. When you first said Creed, I was like, the band? I had like a moment of like, Robert Pattinson was in Creed? I mean, I knew he wasn't, but I was like, why would somebody even think he was? But now I understand. They were just trolling him. I like it.
I don't think they were. They seemed very genuine. They asked for an autograph.
They just thought he was in Creed?
I don't know. I don't even know who he thought he could. Hold on, I gotta look.
Yeah, like is there even like a handsome white guy in Creed? I can't even remember who's in
Sylvester Stallone. They thought he was Sylvester Stallone.
I can see that.
Oh,
who did Michael B. Jordan fight in Creed? I don't know. I didn't see Creed.
Rocky. I haven't seen any Rocky movies.
He didn't fight. They started making Creed because Rocky was too old. So then they were like, we got to go in another direction.
I mean, I assume it was like the kid of Ivan Drago.
And you still don't know who he fought, Rachel?
No, I don't remember any of the fighting. All I remember is him hanging out with Tessa Thompson and her being like, "You need to make a decision." That's all I remember.
Is Tessa Thompson like the Adrian character?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was talking to the judges of the fight. You guys need to make a decision.
You need to make a decision.
The fight just started, and she's just like, "You need to decide."
No, she plays like this like musician, but she's losing her hearing, so she's like very like tragic, but also beautiful.
Like The Sound of Metal. He's losing. Did anybody else see that movie?
Not yet.
That's a good movie. You should see it. Tina, I think it was a joke. I think there was not a real confusing of the two. I think.
No, I think this guy thought he was like a side character in Creed, or like that's the first thing that popped into his head. Maybe he Santa Fe'd it, and he was like thinking of something
just
else
rode
entirely.
with it. You just go with it. Now that's the thing. Like, the safest thing to do if you're a famous person is just agree and get the person out of there as soon as possible, right? You don't want to get into any kind of thing. So you're like, yeah, absolutely. I was in Creed. Have a good one. To my biggest Creed fan. You know what I mean? That'd be great. Like if somebody came up to you and you were famous and somebody thought you were somebody else, would you correct them? I don't think I would.
Yeah, but I'm just that pedantic. I just feel like, no, man. And I'd pull up my IMDb and just be like, fucking look, dude.
That's not who I am.
I would deny being in films I was definitely in. Like, I think that'd be funnier. Like I would like, Silence of the Lambs. What are you talking about?
Like, I'm pretty sure you were Jodie Foster. You're like,
No, that wasn't me.
That was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Julianne Moore. I was Julianne Moore. Like I know she didn't replace me in the sequel, which is Julianne Moore the whole time.
You just burn steam dare them.
You just keep saying, I think I would know if I was in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. I think I would know if I won an Academy Award for that.
Yeah.
Like I would remember biting a dude's face off and then wearing it as my face.
Anthony Hopkins has been in so many movies that he could probably forget. Not that one. He couldn't forget that one probably, but I bet he could forget a couple movies that he like. If somebody's like, "Hey, I remember that movie that you were in, like in the '70s." I bet there's a good chance to be like, "No," or maybe he remembers the title, but he can't remember like what it was about. I don't remember everything I've ever done now, and I've only done a few things.
Yeah, I don't even remember everything I did today.
Yeah. You're asking a lot. I did have a weird situation once. I'm in no way famous at all. But I had somebody come up to me. I was at a bar for a friend's birthday, and they're like, "Hey, you do improv, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Hey, my girlfriend and I, we saw you like 3 or 4 years ago, and we have not stopped talking about this joke that you have. It's become like a running joke between us. Hey, do you remember that thing you did with the horse? And I legit was like, no, sorry, man, it's improv. Like you say it and then it's gone. You know, it's like I don't even remember. And dude got angry.
Yeah.
Like he literally just goes, "What? Yes, and motherfucker." And I was like, "Am I being punked?" And he's like, "You don't just say why wouldn't you just say that you remember? I was going to ask for your autograph, and now, fuck you." And he walked away. And I swear to God, this was a real dude. And I was like, it felt like Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? I was like, should I have straight up lied to this guy? I don't know. I don't know whether I should have. It didn't feel like I should have. I was like, I don't know.
You shouldn't have, because he would have been like, "Do you remember what you did to the horse?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then he goes, "I told you guys. Hey, this is the guy that fucked the horse."
Oh, I'd be okay with that. He would have been like, "Do it again right now." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I don't know."
Bring the horse. We got a horse right here. We got a horse right here.
Hey, my friend's a horse. Hey, come over here.
Just comes trotting over.
This guy fucks horses so fucking good.
Me and my wife can't stop fucking horses because of this guy.
Jimmy, I know you've been trying to fuck this horse. I know you haven't been successful. This guy's gonna show you how to do it.
We learn from the best. When I said no, we just ruined the evening. They were like, "Send the horse home. Never mind. Fuck."
His secret is
Doesn't
he's got a
remember.
dick like an apple and balls like sugar cubes.
It's better than a dick like a sugar cube and balls like apples. I'll tell you that.
I find all these variations repellent.
Yeah, they're not good. There's no good choice.
So many visualizations of where to lick and where to nibble and where to like in only what can you like not eating the pit and that sort of thing. And it's but like just the tip and like all that's going.
There's a lot. There's a lot there.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot there. That's the first thing you'll say when you see it. You're like, "There's a lot there."
Wow.
Apples and sugar? Wow.
I'm gonna pour some flour in your crotch. Make
Let's make a crumble. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like the scene in American Pie, but before the pie's even baked. Jason Biggs was that horny.
Dude, I think it would be sexier if you make the pie first. That's like foreplay.
Yeah.
If you bake the pie knowing you're gonna fuck it.
Yeah, I mean it builds the anticipation.
Exactly.
You've got the nice gooey like filling, and you're just like, "Oh man, this is going to be so good."
I just gotta wait for it to cool off a little bit.
Yeah, it's called foreplay, Ben. You don't just fucking go into a pie, all right? You gotta bake the pie.
And then you blow on it and you put it on a windowsill and
Yeah.
And then someone steals it and you have to start
let the
over.
whole neighborhood smell it. So it's gonna bring a cat sort of following the scent.
I know this might be a little too gross, but I'm just waiting for a woman with a pussy that makes me like waft over from the scene.
like fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah, like I can smell it and I just
Just float through the air. Like it's got a finger that just brings you like this.
That's like some Cronenberg shit. Like
Disco Dear Diary says 4-pie. Yep, it's called 4-pie. That's for sure. Biff Wellington.
4-pie.
Oh, Biff Wellington said it. Yeah. Oh, it's good stuff.
I regret everything I've said on this. Somebody's gonna walk up to me at a bar. "Hey, you're the guy who said that he wants a pussy smells so good it makes him float over, right?" I just have to be like, "Yeah, man."
Hey, Lisa, come over here. This guy needs to smell your pussy. Lisa's got.
She trots over. She's a horse. Horses can be girls too.
Horses can be girls too. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh boy.
Honestly, I don't even know where we go from there. Yeah. Whew. Fuck, who's got a story? What is the anybody? Anybody's got something? What do we got? What are we talking about?
Well, I'll say that it did take me an embarrassing long time for me to learn that all horses are male.
All right, tell me more about this. Is that it? Is that
Okay.
You're like, well, that's the story.
I'll tell you how I found this out because anybody who's played Red Dead Redemption 2 knows that it is so realistic that when you bring your horse into cold areas, the horse's nuts shrivel up into its body.
Oh,
Wait,
what?
in Red Dead Revolver?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, they tell you this, or the
No,
nuts
like-
actually do that?
Oh yeah, they actually do that. Like there's internet videos like pointing it out as like an Easter egg or a small detail or whatever. That's why it took so long to come out because
that.
Yeah, there's
Like
one
the
guy.
guy whose job it was to code the
Yeah.
horse balls, and it's just like,
No.
yep, that was me.
Yeah,
What's
wasn't
going
his-
on the fucking resume?
this is why it took so long between the first one and the second one was because they spent so much time meticulously making sure that the horse's testicles were true to life.
The rest of the game
No,
was done.
there's
They
no
were
way.
just waiting on that.
There's no way that was something that was asked for. Somebody was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I've been working on something on my weekends and spare time that I just think is really cool. I want to show it to you. I put like 300 hours into this. Yeah, 200 crunch time, exactly.
I was going to say, that wasn't somebody's job. That was somebody's passion.
Yeah,
Sleeping under your desk.
I'm the
So
horse
that
ball
you-
guy. That's my job.
They didn't even want to put it in, but it turns out there's so many file overlap from like that and multiplayer. They were like, oh, fuck, we can't do multiplayer if we don't make the horse's dick
He
smaller.
tied it into it.
Is
Yeah.
somebody gonna notice? Yes, because people and they will like it.
Now, see, if I'm hiring somebody to digitize a horse's ball sack, I might want to see what porn they've been into. So
Yeah.
again, it goes back to the LinkedIn, wanked in.
I know this is probably a stupid question, but do you think that they use the same mechanics that like makes your hair grow over time? Like, do you think those are two of the same thing? This is not a bit. This is just genuine
You mean like in the
fucking
game,
fucking-
like to coding
Yeah.
wise?
Yeah, probably not. Never mind. I take it back.
it's
Said my
a
question.
fun question to ask because like yeah, hair and testicles are two very.
I guess it would be like a balloon, maybe.
Mm.
That's more the physics, I think, to me, right? Because like a balloon in the cold too will get smaller and expand in heat.
it's a completely separate guy. He deals solely in dicks and scrotum.
my
He
God.
worked on Watchmen, handled Manhattan's dick that whole time. Yeah, you know.
You need a digital penis. You come see me.
I know.
I'm
I
a
know a
dick
guy. I know a fucking guy who works at Rockstar, and I'm about to text him right now.
Please do. I want to know.
Seriously,
I'm gonna text him.
Yeah, since
Gotta
these two
find
things,
out.
since these two things came around at the same time, might be the same dude who worked on Jason Derulo's Bulge and Cats.
Oh,
I wonder if there's like an industry or there's a guy who just goes around working on digital touch-ups of genitalia, whether man or beast.
in White
You have
Lotus,
to do the asshole cut too.
Oh yeah.
I
Hey,
want to see the
Stu, do you
butthole
know the
cut.
guy who made the dick smaller for the horses? There we go.
We'll see what he says. We'll see what he
I'll
says.
let you know if he responds.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if we're gonna oh my god.
In White Lotus, in episode 1 of White Lotus, Steve Zahn has to look at his ball sack, and it's a prosthetic ball sack, and they let him choose his own prosthetic ball sack. And I was like, that's weird because you probably don't know what your ball sack really looks like, right? Like from the front, at least, unless you like. I don't spend a lot of time staring at my ball sack. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I mean, I think they all sort of
That requires third party verification,
Right?
That's you got to get somebody else in there to
I would think my lover
yeah.
or my spouse would be the person to choose the ball
somebody
sack.
off the street.
You think
It doesn't
picked?
matter.
You think he picked a ball sack and his wife is just like, "Wow, really? You think your balls look that nice?" Yeah.
You wish.
In your dreams, bud.
Can you
Let's
keep
see the most decrepit fucking balls they
Yeah.
have. That's more like
You
it.
got balls like a fucking pair of sugar cubes, bud.
it's like,
This is giving me like nightmare vibes. I just like had this vision of like somehow like my pussy detaches or I lose it and I have to like go find it, and they have like a bunch of pussies and they're like, oh, which one's yours, and you can have it back, and I'm just like crying. I'm like, I don't know which one's my pussy. Which one's my pussy?
Oh my god, it's a lost and found. So, wait, sorry, a lost and pound, and you have to pick out which one.
Yeah, Pfeiffer saying King Missile. That totally reminded me of Detachable Penis as well. There's a song about a penis that's detachable, and he loses it, and then he looks everywhere for it. But he doesn't have to pick his out of a lineup. That would be. I'd like to think that I could pick my own dick and balls out of a lineup, like together as a package. But I don't. I guess I'm not 100% sure of that. Like I wouldn't bet my dick and balls on it.
I mean, I haven't looked at my pussy since like high school. I don't have any fucking idea.
I like that thought. Like, what if it's changed? What if it's grown too? not in size, by the way, emotionally.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jerry. What were you gonna say?
I don't even fucking remember that. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Also, for this genital lineup, are we talking like a bunch of dicks and balls and pussies that look the same as ours, or is there like some variety? Because if I saw like a better looking dick and balls, I'd be like, oh yeah, that one for sure. Yeah, you never gone to a lost and found and seen a nicer jacket than the one you lost, and you're like, it's this one. It's definitely
that's my jacket.
If it works like real police lineups, they'd have ringers, so they'd know. Like they brought in the big one, and they're just like, this will probably throw him off.
Sir, that's the stunt penis you chose.
Yeah. Our first clue was that it's white. You didn't think at all that would maybe throw it off.
That's the Chief's dick on loan.
So now I'm imagining like a black dick on a naked white dude, and it looks like just like one chocolate chip on top of like a vanilla ice cream scoop or something like that.
What?
I love this.
I'm not sure what kind of ice cream or you're eating or porn.
It's a very fat white guy. How about that?
Also, that's a shitty ice cream. If you want a chocolate chip ice cream, get one chocolate chip on top of your ice cream.
Everyone like different tastes, you know. Like, no king shaming.
Yeah, no ice cream shaming.
No topping shaming either.
Well, this all reminds me of my story, which is it's also dirty. So for those of you who came to watch the show being like, I'm sure there won't be any cussing or porn talk, sorry, but this one I have to talk to you guys about. It's my favorite thing I've ever seen, or among them. There was the most amazing Twitter thread today. I haven't seen Ted Lasso, and I loved it. So if you've seen Ted Lasso, this may already be even funnier to you. But basically, Ben's expression, I'm like, I don't know if he's already.
That was the best, yeah.
So this is like basically, I'm going to share my screen because I need to share this. I need to share this thread with you because it's a multi reply thread, which is already insane. It's insane. It's an insane thing to do this. So this guy's like, how Ted Lasso lost the thread. And so people are like, a lot of people aren't ready to admit it, but it's clear that season 2 of Ted Lasso is not very good, and certainly not as good as season 1. And this woman comes in, and she says, I think you're not ready to admit that what really bugs you about Ted Lasso is that men go down on women before satisfying their own needs. You hate that women tell men what they want sexually and get it. You feel threatened by confident women. And then she puts her own bullseye. That's an insane thing to do. And also it's a whole thread. I don't have the thread here. Let me see. Where is it? Where's the whole fucking thread? Oh, it's freezing. Where's the whole thread?
While Rachel looks for it, what's really funny too is a bunch of people on Twitter are like, how do you go down on somebody with a mustache? And the other half of the people are like, that's the point. You want that. It's really funny to see the pro versus Khan Mustache Cunnilingus Cruz are very clearly divided.
Oh, guys, I
I
just like,
mean,
what are you gonna say, man?
you know, going down with a mustache is nothing. It just requires a little extra cleanup afterward.
Yeah, you have to pick mustache hairs out of it.
I think it could be kind of fun to like to lick some of it off the mustache, like like while you're kissing or something like that. Like,
I mean, it could be there for sure. I mean, same as the upper lip, I guess, but then there's more. I don't know. Yeah, the bullseye.
Oh my God. I'm
Bullseye
just
is the
seeing
best.
how many things that has been posted.
Oh, I mean, this is thousands long. I mean, people really have feelings about this.
So this woman is all, she wrote this like 30 or like at least 15 reply thread to this guy who's just like, the reason you don't like Ted Lasso season 2 is because you hate powerful women, and you hate the fact that the men put their sexual needs above their own. And I'm here to ask you, like, what the fuck is Ted Lasso about? Is there oral sex in Ted Lasso? Is it explicit oral sex in Ted Lasso? And
So
would you say it comprises the majority of this show?
You haven't
one
seen
fucking
Ted Lasso,
scene.
right?
It was one scene.
No,
That's the thing. Like there was a whole because
was a
at the
hole.
well, we knew that.
That we knew.
That's how it works.
There's a character, Roy Kent, who
at
the end of season 1 left the Richmond Football Club. Do what?
He retired from football altogether.
Right,
Whoa.
right. He retired because he fucked up his knee, and he comes home to his girlfriend at one point, and she's watching a video and masturbating, and he sees what she's watching, and she's watching the press conference, and it turns out that the reason she was getting off on his retirement announcement is because he was like vulnerable and crying, and that's what did it for her. So later on in the episode, he cues it up on his phone for her and then proceeds to go down on her while she's watching it. They don't show it. They just show him like sinking down the way you do in network type television.
Rachel, not a witch. Come on.
Hey, can you guys hear me? I accidentally opened up a program that took over my computer for a second.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. I was all to do this, by the way.
Oh my God.
It wasn't even worth the bit.
No, it was. It
No,
was.
no, totally worth it.
Sorry, JR, continue.
No, I mean, and that's it. So
Yeah.
I don't like most of the show is just generally feeling good. Like,
Yeah.
hey, life is kind of okay.
If you want to,
yeah.
if you want like an honest answer of like from what I could see based on what she was tweeting, no bits, I'm being serious. It's a really fun show because it doesn't really poke fun at anybody for being like who they are, if that makes sense. Like there are non-white characters where they don't really poke fun at them for being not white. There are female characters that don't ever like, it's not really part of their whole like character arc or something. So it's a show that kind of treats everybody with a lot of respect. And if anyone does do something outside of that, then they are very clearly like the idiot character. But I think it's a lot more interesting to just assume that every single character when they're not currently on screen is just going down, just really eating as much pussy as humanly possible. That
I do
fucking
think it's
slaps.
interesting. I have a friend who works, she's a critic for Decider, and she was talking about how different the reaction from the critics were to season 2, who got to watch the whole thing at once, like they got to binge it, like the entire season, as opposed to the reaction of people having to watch it a week at a time, because I think it is all leading up to something. And if you follow me on Twitter, I was talking about that earlier today, which is that he's a great guy, not winning, right? That's what you're supposed to do in your team. And at some point, that's going to come to a head. Everybody likes each other, and it's great, but like nobody wins. So it's like at some point, people are going to get tired of not winning. And especially now that I think they've got a capable coach. So I think that's the direction it's headed in, personally.
Sometimes your computer will just like freeze up for a second and it like sounds like a robot, and it's like your computer is trying to save us from spoilers.
Yeah.
Because all I heard is like, I have a thread about this. Anyway, it's a really great show. I love it a lot.
Computer just diving in the way. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of you. I'm being a very bad Ted
No,
Lasso right
it's
now.
good. You should watch it.
Hey, I like it.
It is.
You should
It's such
watch
an
it.
uplifting show. I mean, like, Keely and Rebecca are a lot of fun because they're just so goddamn supportive. In the last episode, like, Rebecca was demonstrating a thing she does in order to psych herself up for meetings, which is to get as big as she can, and she looks like objectively weird. And Keely looks at her, and she's got this really weird look on her face, and you think it's going to be like your standard sitcom slam, and instead she's like, "Fuck, you're amazing. Let's invade France." And it's just like, awesome. Okay, so
It's a super feel good show.
it is. It really, like, yeah. Even when you're just like, oh, you're still feeling good about everything.
Also, it's going to be a great porn parody because there are a lot of good-looking people in the show. There's a lot of chance for interracial and girl and guy and gangbang. Like, there's really across the gamut. The whole show really covers everything.
And if you watch that, then you're automatically management material.
Yeah.
I don't know what they.
Yeah, my thing about Ted Lasso, and I haven't watched it, is I think it's somebody pointed out that often like the nicest shows get like these fan bases that are wild. Like whenever you say something bad about Ted Lasso online, people will like come after you and be like really mean, and you're like, how can you like this nice show, but then you're so mean?
Yeah. It's also the thing that sucks is that like I don't like the season 2 so far as I've been watching it. It feels like an objectively worse show than the first season. That's just my opinion. I feel like they have become sort of a parody of themselves. This is, again, no bits. It's just every other thing that Ted Lasso says is not, like, he's this guy from what, like Ohio or something, and he says these like Americanisms where he's just like, well, you know what they say, if a dog ain't wet, don't run, or something like that. Like it doesn't make a lick of sense, but he says them and it's like endearing and cute. And in season 2, they're like, more of that. Every other sentence he says has to sound like a fucking t-shirt that you could get in Nebraska or something. You know, it's just like, it's too much.
Something
got all
they
these
sell
mugs.
at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
You got all these blank mugs.
These shirts aren't going to sell themselves. We need a different slogan on every one.
Yeah.
Too many people wearing Dunder Mifflin shirts and whatnot. We need to bring them.
Yeah.
Which I know. Just good. From what I remember from when I was like working at like the aquarium and that sort of thing. Like I kid you not, everyone once a day I saw there were some major like there was Dunder Mifflin, there was Fortnite and Five Nights at Freddy's for the kids. There was Friends for a lot of people who were clearly visiting abroad.
Really?
Yeah,
really.
I know, like,
Europeans like to wear the Friends shirt.
Yeah, I have no idea why, but for some reason, like I guess maybe from the outside, like they think
This is what they like there.
Yeah, exactly. Like they think Friends is still like a big deal here 20 years later down the road.
That's why when I go to London, I just wear a giant picture of a cup of tea, and I'm just like, yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
Let me see your fucking sharks, London. Yeah.
The same thing with like the Dunder Mifflin shirts. I think I get where it's like, hey, that's what this is what Americans like, right? Like I'm one. It's like, how do How do you do, fellow Americans? Or something.
I want to go to London and wear what was the name of the paper company in the British version of The Office? I don't know,
Werner
but
Hogg.
there you
Werner
go.
Hogg.
I want a Warner Hogg shirt to wear
There you
there.
go. Yeah.
I want a Werner Herzog shirt to wear. Now,
Yeah, just in general. I want a Werner
just
Herzog paper shirt.
Word association in my mind.
All that does is that just marks you as a citizen of the world. Like, no matter where you go, they're like, "Fuck yeah, man!"
Hell yeah.
Werner Herzog, yeah.
I'm gonna get a Mind the Gap T-shirt, but it's pointing to my pussy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Spread your legs.
Want to know
Zealand.
one of the dopest things about Werner Herzog was that he was giving an interview once. When was it? With the BBC, and he actually got shot by an air rifle because some wacko was just like firing his air rifle, and he got hit with like during his interview. He was like answering a question, and he got shot in the stomach, and he's like, "What was that?" And then they're like, "Somebody's shooting," and he's like, "They're like, we should go inside," and he goes, "That's not a significant bullet. Let's just keep going." And it just keeps fucking going. It's not a significant bullet is the most badass thing you can say when you get shot. Like that's just hardcore. It's like, it's not a significant bullet. I don't need attention. Let's keep going.
The interview where somebody was trying to explain Pokemon Go to him. And it was just like, so let me see if I understand this correctly. If they meet on a corner, they fight, and they're like, well, yeah, they battle, and he's just like, so it comes down to fisticuffs. And like, no, Werner, it's in the game, and they use these little electronic monsters, and he's just like, well, that makes no sense. And it's the most adorably Werner Herzog thing I've ever seen, where it's just like,
I love
that's how that would play out.
Because he's just in his mind, he's like, so let me get this straight. You have an app where two children can find each other and fight on the fucking street. I love it.
Yeah. And they're just like, no monsters.
I like how your Werner Herzog was vaguely Caribbean.
I'm not great at accents.
He's like, so what you're telling me?
So what you're telling me,
Mom? Why are they fighting the monsters? You sounded like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid.
Or the dude from Futurama. Yeah. I do want Werner Herzog. Sorry, go ahead, Rachel.
There's a lot of like funny Werner Herzog like interviews. I love the one where he finds out 35 years after they've met that John Waters is gay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
35 years later, like during an interview or during like a press conference, that John Waters, who he has been, he has acquaintances with.
And is he like, what? John Waters is gay?
He's like, I just figure that. I don't want this video to get blocked. We can play it. Yes, after 35 years, he's gay. I can open it up.
Amazing.
So wait, John Waters is gay?
Oh, fuck.
This is what he said. For me, a man is a man. I cannot distinguish a gay man from a straight man. He starts off by saying that a chair is a chair.
Just a chair.
After 35 years of knowing John Waters, I turn to my wife and I say to her, I have a feeling this man is gay. The audience instantly dissolves into laughter. Herzog wasn't remotely done, proceeding to praise his pal because I took him as John Waters and I love the man. I love him dearly. He's the boldest of the bold filmmakers. I wish I had the guts of this man, and he's very, very dear to my heart. But for me, this is a man. Yes, a man is a man.
I love that stark comparison because now after this realization, Werner's going around looking at chairs being like, I wonder if you're gay. I don't know.
A gay chair.
A chair is a chair. I don't know.
What makes a gay chair?
plunged into a whole existential question of, like, how does one tell?
It's probably like one of those stools that, like, if the bottom like gives out, then suddenly you find yourself getting penetrated.
You're talking about the stool from fucking James Bond.
No.
What are you guys talking about?
You don't know the stool from James Bond that he sits on when they whip his nuts?
What?
That is not a stool. That is that is a chair with the middle part just taken out, so his nuts hang down below the chair.
Okay, I wasn't really focused on the chair. It's fucking James Bond's nuts hanging there.
Nut stool.
Did he have to pick his own prosthetic nuts, or was that somebody else's job?
Daniel Craig.
It was actually Steve Zahn's job.
Every woman on the crew was just like, oh.
The James Bond ball chair sounds like something you can get from Brookstone for like $2,000. Perhaps luxuriate in the James Bond ball chair.
Hold it for your.
Ted Lasso's like, you know what they say? Sometimes you sit in a normal chair. Sometimes you sit in a James Bond ball chair.
I thought you said you haven't watched the show. That's a direct quote.
You sit in a James Bond ball chair.
Oh my god. How long are we streaming for? We've gotten through like one story.
Yeah. We're not gonna get through. I don't know. We've gone through a ton of stories. We've just gone all over the place. If anybody's got a story they need to tell, by God, tell now. We got more time, but get that story in there. I think we were talking about ball chairs.
Yeah.
Last time we talked, we were talking about ball chairs. Weird furniture, sexual furniture. Did anybody have has anybody ever used, or we don't need to go too into detail, but has anybody ever used a sex swing? Because my friend's parents had one that they unapologetically kept hanging in their bedroom at all times.
That fucking slaps. I love that.
It was the best. It was the best in high school. We would just go over there, and it was there, and we would rag on him so hard because we'd be like, "Oh, your parents are fucking." But now looking back, I'm like, "That's awesome. Good for them, right?" Like, but yeah, I've never used it. Wouldn't know how it worked.
Yeah, well, because of course you haven't used it, because the moment you get in a sex screen, you're like, I've become my father.
This isn't your father's sex swing.
Yeah, I do. I love that for your parents so much, because it means not only were they still fucking, they liked fucking. It wasn't an obligation for them. They were into it.
Oh, because this is not my parents. This is my friend Tim's parents. My parents.
Your parents
I think
suck.
I think they had sex a couple times, but no sex, not in a swing. No just regular bed sex.
I feel like if I got in a sex swing, I'd be like, wee, and then I would like forget about the sex.
I'm already way too in my own head during sex, like, and you add balance and like everything else to that, and I'm just like, it's gonna take me forever because I'm too focused on all of these variables.
Yeah,
like I'm trying to launch the fucking space shuttle.
I also think like it's one of those things that would be fun in the moment, and then the second you're done, you're like, I'm fucking covered in fucking whatever, and I'm hanging up, and you have to like deal with it then, right? Yeah. It's like a weird, it's a weird afterwards. Yeah.
Not only is it a weird afterwards, imagine, if you will, basically putting together the most complicated IKEA furniture set you've ever had in your life, setting it all up, and then looking at somebody and being like, yeah, let's fuck now. I know we just spent an hour yelling at each other, but now I want to fuck you, and you got to be 15 feet above the ground.
Just kill the mood for me.
I feel like that's an amazing race thing. Where it's like you and your partner have to build this sex swing and have vigorous sex in it before moving on.
Yeah.
And like it's like halfway that would just fall because you didn't build it right. And you're like, fuck, you got to start again.
You didn't find the stud, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't used a sex swing, but I've fucked in a slide before. Is that close? Is this good?
Like on a slide?
No, not on a slide, you pervert. In a slide.
You just said in a slide. What does that mean?
Like a kid's, like at the playground?
Yeah.
No, not at like the playground. At a Chuck E.
Oh,
Cheese
like
play
I'm the
zone.
weird one. You're
At
the
a
one talking
Chuck
about
E.
fucking in a
Cheese.
slide.
You fucked in the slide at Chuck E. Cheese?
At a Chuck E. Cheese play zone. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry for generalizing.
While it was open?
No. I haven't fucked in a slide. God no. That'd be terrible. I can barely fit in a slide myself as a human man.
It's like two people in a slide. That'd be so embarrassing to like get stuck fucking and have to like because it happens, right? People all the time get sexual accidents or whatever. But imagine getting stuck in the slide naked together, and then you have to wait until a kid comes to use the slide, and then be like, "Don't come down here. Get your mom. Call the cops." Right? Instantly, and then they have to come and they have to take the slide apart
Yeah.
to get you out of there. Oh man.
Easier than
I
a
don't
sex
know.
swing though.
It's
Easier than a sex
like
swing.
that's the worst thing to happen in a Chuck E. Cheese. Like there, you can't tell me that cum is the most disgusting thing in that playground.
Oh, absolutely not.
I could see why it wouldn't be the ball pit, and now I am really great.
You guys ever get in a long-term relationship and turn a piece of furniture in your home into like the fuck chair? You know what I mean? Where you just like me and my ex had a chair in our house where like that's where we would like we would fuck in the bed, on the floor, whatever. Awesome. But then every so often it'd be like, go get the chair. And then
This was your swing. It was your swing.
We would fuck in a chair. We had a chair that we had specifically to fuck in, and then sometimes we would have guests over, and then they would pull out the chair and sit in it, and both of us would just go like, that's not for sitting, bud.
Was it a lazy boy chair or just like a regular straight back
it
wooden
was
chair?
This is the thing. I feel like I've hyped it up too much. It was a foldable chair. It was just like a fold out chair that we had. We had very limited. We lived in a studio apartment, all right, and we didn't have very much space, so we would pull out this chair and then fuck in it, and then go, all right, close that up, go in the closet. And we never talk about it. We never bring it out.
That's the fuck chair.
That's the fuck chair. That's not for sitting. That's for fucking.
Now my question is when when you want to get rid of it and you put it out on the sidewalk, does it being a sex chair be something that you include in the sign when you're like free chair, P.S. for fucking, or like
has been used for fucking?
Yeah,
That's not
I didn't
a
go
chair
that
you
far.
put out on the stoop. That's something you put up for sale. You get as much money for it as you possibly can, because that's got memories attached. You don't just give that away.
No, I put it
Pass
out
that
on
down.
I put it out on the sidewalk and just I just have a sign there that says not for sitting.
And now, my child, the fuck chair is yours. Take this to college and have fun. Like, what, Dad? Gross. I don't want your fuck chair. It's just like that's the
This
chair
is
that you
where
love.
the men in our family have been conceived going back generations.
See, what is this? It's where you were made.
Yeah. To this day, there's nothing sexier than being at a public event and watching somebody take a fold-out chair and just be like, "Wha-bam!" and just fucking like get it out. You know what I mean?
Has anybody read or watched the film Hellraiser?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
aware of it.
Okay, so you know that the way he's able to escape briefly from the schism is that he's like come on the carpet in that house. And so I would be like, listen, you have to keep this chair okay, because in the very small chance I'm abducted by the bad guys from Hellraiser, this is my only way back into this reality.
Yeah.
That is a very specific fear. Like that is like somebody's recondoing your apartment and they're just like, we can get rid of this, right? No.
If I get taken
trapped.
I'm suddenly very grateful for all the times I've masturbated without a sock.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, your solution should not be to keep the chair. Your solution should be to come on fucking everything.
Good luck, Pinhead. This whole thing's jizz.
Just turn on the blue light and it looks like looks like a motel.
You're like, now I'm in the schism.
Yeah.
Now I'm out of the schism.
Now I'm in the schism. Now I'm in the jism. What's up, baby? Let's do this.
It's like, yeah, and it goes in and out and in and out.
Squeeze box.
Pull out, pull out.
Pinhead quits after trying to trap Little John. Yeah. Oh man, I always think how do I get this? I was talking about like the post, and then you have to get out of the swing and everything, and that always to me is like, as somebody who's never gotten like super into like getting super duper tied up or like had anything that revolves like a lot of setup.
Yeah.
Right. Then at the end, is the cleanup like part of it still, or are you just like silent as you take the tarp that's covered in piss like off the bed and fold it up and right? Like, how do you like at the end of like sex? Right, we snuggle, but at the end of like piss play, do you snuggle in the like? When does cleanup happen in that process? I don't. That's a legit question.
Immediately.
I don't immediately.
Yeah, I always clean up immediately. That's like part of it. Is as soon as sex is over, I'm up out of the bed, running to grab a wet towel with warm water. You bring it back, and then you snuggle. That's how you do it, Ben.
That's classy.
That's fucking. I have a whole closet of towels that I get wet with warm water.
It's one use, and then throw them in the closet.
Yeah, and then they're gone.
I am I am actually doing a load of laundry towels right now. It's in the drying machine while we're doing this, and my gears are spinning.
Perfect.
Fun fact: Justin's towels are actually Armando's. Justin is doing Armando's towels.
Yes, I should have specified. Thank you for pointing that out, Ray.
I don't.
It's one of those things. Once you have a kid, they tell you like make cleanup part of the game, right? Like you can't make it separate and like a punishment. It's got to be a part of it, or else like nobody's going to want to do it.
Yeah, Jay, I think you're right. And Kit Tempest is like, some people like snuggling covered in the juices. It's like post-basting, which
gross.
is a weird term, but I like post-basting.
I think it depends on the juices, though. Like, I mean, certain things, sure, like lay in it for a little bit, like not long, but
sure.
Like, you don't want to just be like, and we're done, bye. But
also what you would do at 17 and what you do now, right? Like, like at 17, my girlfriend, like we would fucking like have sex, and I'd come, and she'd be like, "I'm not gonna fucking shower. I'm just gonna let that drip down my leg all fucking day. No, it's you." And I was like, "Oh, it's so fucking hot, right?" Like, "Oh yeah, baby." And now I'm like, "Gross." Just fucking, like, you're gonna get a fucking yeast infection. I
got a whole fucking post nut routine. All right, the towel is step one. The towel is step one, and then I try to sneak in a pee. You always got to pee after sex. All right,
that's definitely.
I have like a whole fucking. Oh my god, this is.
You have to sneak it in,
or no. I'm saying
just go pee.
You want to come back to snuggle, you know.
Yeah, pee immediately, says Tina Talon. Yeah, very important.
If there's oil, you got to use like some mouthwash to get any like hairs out of your throat. Obviously.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I like this. Another David Thomas says he evacuates his bowels 45 seconds after he finishes.
40.
Is that like a hard out? Like if she's like keeping you, do you wind up shitting everywhere?
Yeah, you're like, I gotta go.
And some people are into that as well, though.
You know, they say after you have your second kid, shitting becomes part of it. You know, you just gotta accept it.
Gotta be okay with that.
Who's they in this situation?
Yeah. Who's the
movie
so I need context.
I will say that post-based sounds like something you shouldn't do or you'll get fired. Like, don't post-based, man. Dude, did you hear that guy posted based?
I don't care how good it feels. Don't post based, okay?
Don't post-based.
Pre-based only.
Like, oh god.
All jokes aside, I hope that's the one thing I can impart on everybody is just go get right now. Go to fucking Bed Bath & Beyond, get yourself some towels, and just keep them by the bed. All right, Free game. That's free game for everyone.
Are they hand towels, like cooch size
Oh, yeah.
towels? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you call it cooch size?
I did.
That's great.
Yes.
I did. Yep. Somebody says that's your kink, not mine. I don't know what that's in. I think that must be the shitting that Tams was talking about. But again, no kink shaming. Not my kink, but
it's my
Hey.
kink. I can't even think about nutting if there's not a towel within 5 feet of me.
Tina Town says she agrees towels are a must. She used to give her just a paper towel, and that's awful. No. Oh, paper towel. It's not even
Were they
toilet
like
paper. Paper towels are rough.
That's gonna fall apart too. Like
Were
if
they like
there's
an art
anything
instructor in
down
high
there.
school?
Not if you're using a brawny paper towel, JR.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need like
Just
the
one
quick,
paper towel. Just
You need-
sucks
When
up.
I'm wiping off my dick post,
you need a bounty, the
I reach
quicker
for
picker.
brawny.
You need a
Yeah.
bounty, the quicker picker upper.
I agree. The quicker picker, thicker upper, and then you.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
My
I have-
splooge is too thick for ordinary paper towels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you've got your sponsorships all worked out
Yeah.
here.
I actually had a light bulb moment in college when I actually had to do a painting for a
picker
set
upper.
design project. And so I was like, because of how big it was, I had it's like, okay, I'll paint on my bed and I don't want to get paint on my bed sheets. So I'll just, and I did get paint on the towel that I had laid out. And, and because I was a horny college student, I was like, okay, I don't want to get my bed sheets soaked with my jizz. So I saw I was like, this thing can withstand paint.
How much do you jizz?
I was very ignorant at
no, I know.
in
Like a
college.
bucket full.
Not knowing,
Yeah.
like I don't look, I don't, I'm focused on what my brain and what's on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I do squirt paint, and I just thought we should not gang up on Justin when it's my truth,
okay. Okay, you'll love this towel then. Like I can show you.
I've got what I need.
Oh, so perfect then, because there's a lot of memories in that towel, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that same high school. Oh no!
Carpet. I give my hookups.
just like a squares of carpet.
Just carrying around.
Clean up
some
with that.
Carrying around some swatches. Leave one on the dresser.
Good God! Oh, wow! Oof. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I had a. Nope, never mind. That's no. What's too much information at this point?
There's no such
There is no such thing. I told you about my
school
chair, Ben.
My high school girlfriend and I had a towel that we used that was just like when we wanted to have sex when she was on her period. It was like the towel to put down on her bed so that we didn't get blood on the bed. That towel got used every month. It's just
Hell yeah.
I feel really shitty about this. My ex, toward the end of our relationship, we were living like 150 miles apart. So I went down to visit her, and I was only there like a night or two, and she happened to be on her period during that time. So we laid down one of the hotel's towels and fucked on that. So like it wasn't even mine. It was just like, here you go, you get to deal with that, asshole.
Sorry, maid. Yeah.
I did that at an Airbnb and felt so bad. I fucking found what brand of sheets they were and ordered a pair and just sent them to the Airbnb and was like, "Hey, come on, I'm sorry, I don't know."
I
what
mean,
else
that's
to do."
something. Like you didn't just go off and leave it.
Yeah,
That's-
hotel is different. You should feel good about that. Fuck a corporation. But at Airbnb, I felt real bad about it.
Yeah, that'd be really gross if I came home to my Airbnb and somebody had there's blood all over the bed.
Yeah.
Like even if they were like, "Here's another set of sheets," I'd be like, "Well, okay," but still, real nasty.
What do you think? How long do you think they stared at it before they were like, "Is this murder or like real kinky?"
Yeah,
I probably just would have thrown the sheets away. to be honest. And been like, I would have rather than been like, why are there no sheets here? Rather than this sheet's covered in blood. Like, you know, like I would have just rather that been the mystery.
I love that it's like the amount of blood on the sheets post coitus is such that you're like, was there a murder? Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Well, first of all, I brought my portable sex swing with me. All right.
So it's like at that point it was like one of those paint splatters.
Yeah, it's fucking everywhere.
I will say as a woman who does have periods, I got into a huge fight in college because I did have sheets that I had bled on that I didn't throw away, and I'm just like, oh, like who cares? They're clean, you know. I washed them. It's just like the stain doesn't come out, and like blood is actually pretty hard to get out. So to be fair, but I had this roommate who like went fucking nuts when she saw them. She's just like, you have these like, you know, like you have these blood-stained sheets and you don't get new ones, and like, how dare you? It's so gross. And I'm just like, they're period stains. Grow up. And she's like, grow up. You grow up. And I'm like, I hate you. And then
escalated quickly.
I have I don't know if I feel like I told this story one of the last times I was here, but I when I first moved in with my when I first moved in with my ex, it was like right when we were living together, or right when we started living together. I got really sick, but I didn't know I was sick yet. And I woke up and I was like laying in bed, and I was on my phone, and she had just left to work, and I'm just kind of laying there, and I felt what I thought was a fart, and it turns out it was not, and a little bit of, and it was like, I don't want to get super gross, but it was very watery, and it and a little bit of it came out, and there was just like a tiny pool of liquid shit on the sheets, and I was like, oh fuck, I can't let her know I shit the bed in the first week of living together. She's gonna kill me. So I took the sheets off, and I figured out, I've had to do this so many times. I found out where the sheets were from. Oh my God. And I drove to a Target, and I bought the same exact sheets, and I brought them back, and I put them on the bed, and I looked at them, and I went, no, they look too new. So I took them out, and I took them to a fucking laundromat, and I put them in the dryer for, I think, 10 cycles until they matched the same level of fadedness, and then brought them back. And I barely fucking got back. Yeah, I do. I have to work it into my gross
hundreds
lifestyle.
of dollars a month.
I fucking
Please, my family is starving.
As soon as I'm fucking putting the sheets back on and like finishing making the bed, because it took all fucking day. That's when she came home from work as I'm making the bed, and she was like, so you just like you just made the bed? And I was like, look, all right, you don't know what I've fucking been through. It's been a day. And she was like, what happened? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
I'm sorry, I know that this was like a lot of work for you, and obviously a very sore point. Why couldn't you just say like you were sick on them? Why couldn't you just say like, oh, I'm sorry, I like had food poisoning and I got sick on the sheets, and not be more specific and just be like, but you know what, I got new sheets.
Or just say I threw up. Just say you threw up. She's not gonna know.
Well, that's the thing. I did tell her. I told her. I think 3 months later, I was like, "Yeah,
happy anniversary, baby. Let me tell you what really happened."
I ever tell you I shit our bed?
Those sheets are not your sheets.
Yeah. These sheets that you thought you brought with you from Milwaukee.
It's like my mom gave me those sheets. One time in college, I was too drunk to drive home, and so I asked my friend Kira. She was staying with my friend Jeremy, and I was like, hey, can I crash in your room? And she's like, yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. My roommate's asleep. And so I went in, and I was really quiet, and I got in bed, and I woke up in the morning, and I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but like I instantly knew I had fucking pissed myself. I was like hammer drunk right the night before, and I woke up, and I was like, oh fuck, you're kind of cold, and like you're like I shouldn't, and like. You feel down, it feels wet, and you're like, oh no. And like her fucking duvet cover is like soaking. Like I fucking pissed like a bunch. It wasn't just like a little pee, like the bed was drenched. And so I guess like 7 a.m, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking wash this. So, like I took the sheet off, and I fucking took the duvet cover, and I like balled it all up, and I went down to the laundry, and I fucking put it in the washing machine, and I fucking pressed the button to go. And then I saw the sign that said the wash machine was broken. So then I had to take the piston sheets out of the fucking washing machine, get in my car, drive back to my house, wash the sheets, and then bring them back to her house and put them on the bed. I told her exactly what I did because there was no way to hide it because that room smelled so much like urine. I felt so bad for her roommate who must have like woken up in the morning and been like, what the fuck happened here? It smells like a brewery and urine.
I can't relate at
yeah.
all. That's fucking gross, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How dare you? How dare you judge me?
That's really fucking gross, bro.
No. I refuse. I refuse to be judged by you. Your liquid shit sheets.
I like the idea that this is a show where we stop being friends with each other. We just like stop talking out.
I like the idea of a show. I like the idea of a show where you trick one of your friends into telling a really dark secret by all of you sort of sharing, and then once they do, you just shun that person.
Yeah,
you're like, that is fucked.
Do you hear Ben fucking pissed in his friend's roommate's house?
What? No, we were all saying stuff. What? No,
everyone does it.
I do like that you
What? What?
Yeah, you guys.
We all have a deep dark secret. We all came out with our deep dark secrets.
When you were telling your story, I felt bad because you go, you know how sometimes when you piss yourself, you can feel it, and my brain went, no, I don't. That's gross. I've never done that. That's stupid. I've shit my pants so many times as an adult, arguably more than I did as a baby, and I judged you.
It's why I don't drink really anymore. Because when I drink, I can't just have a drink. I drink until I basically black out, and then when I black out, I do stuff like piss myself. Or I piss in the trash can in the kitchen while everybody's there, which I did one time. I walked into the kitchen and I started pissing into the trash can in the kitchen. And my fiance at the time was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, quote, don't worry, I'm just going to the post office. And I finished going to the bathroom. And I went back to bed. I don't remember any of it. So
that's why I only drink water now, because it's a much healthier way to
There was a house party I went to that a friend of mine was throwing. Like, it was at his parents' house, which was much bigger. Like, he was either living at home or it was bigger than his place. But they had a bunch of fucking people, and everybody got blitzed. I was wasted, and so I wound up crashing there, and it was like, there was the kitchen, the living room, and then like this side room that ostensibly was a dining room, but they had like a couch in there and shit. And so I'm falling asleep on the couch when this guy walks in, and they had an island that was most of the kitchen, and that's where like the oven was and everything. This dude walks in, clearly bombed out of his fucking mind, and like walks over. I'm on the opposite side of the island from him. I just see him like this, and then there's the sound of water hitting the floor, and I'm just like, oh shit. And then he tries to flush the oven. Like he's just sitting there like, but why isn't it fucking doing it? Fucking go. And for whatever reason, their kitchen was carpeted. So like it wasn't piss on linoleum. That's soaked in. But I mean, I can't really complain much because all I did was just like, that was weird, and rolled over. Sleep.
You deserve anything you get if you carpet your kitchen.
I mean,
that's a heathen.
Yeah.
And, let me guess. He also tried to like bake a cake in the toilet.
I didn't stick around for that part, man.
Which y'all did this shit dry. I'll be honest, I did something complete. I was completely sober when I did this. I was so shy when I was younger that like when my folks would have like friends and guests over, and I always felt so weird going downstairs, like when other people that like other adults were in the house, and so I'd be in this room that I am now, and the bathroom is just down those stairs, and I would have to like see the people in person. I'm like, oh, no, I didn't go to the bathroom, so I would take an empty water bottle and just use that and pray to God my folks didn't come up into the room and just be like.
And then would you just empty it out in the morning, or did you have bottles of piss like under your bed?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I would always like hide them behind the desk or something. And at some point, it'd be like, oh, I'll get to that later. But if I knew they were in bed, it depends. Either I would actually, then I'd put it in the toilet and then just like put it in the trash and hope they didn't notice. Or I would like put it down the drain in the sink and be like, what they don't know won't hurt them.
Oh, down the sink.
What? I don't. What?
I mean,
Mr. Grab the bed and pee his
Don't you? If I had a choice,
do you drink from the drain?
If I had a choice, I would have shit in a fucking toilet. I didn't bottle up my shit and go for the.
You're all disgusting. You're all disgusting.
No.
One of us. Justin. One of us.
It's no different from that hilarious scene in Bridesmaids where Marissa McCarthy uses the thing.
One of us.
The worst was one time when, like, I was home with my daughter who was a baby at that point, and the sirens start going off because I live in the Midwest, and it was just like tornadoes on the ground, get to shelter, and the only place to go was the basement. And the problem was, so I get down there with my daughter, and like at the time I was having stomach problems. Like my diet was not what it should have been. When I had to go, I had to fucking go. And so like 15 minutes after the sirens started going off and we went downstairs, I'm like, shit, what do I do? And I'm like, well, I can't leave my daughter downstairs by herself because it's our basement and she's 3 months. And I can't take her up with me because if I'm going to die on the toilet, at least, she's not going with me. So at that point, the cat's litter boxes were down there. Like, it was a question of necessity.
I feel like we've been building to this all night.
And so, like, my daughter is sitting there and she's watching me as I just squat over the litter box.
You're like, don't do this. This isn't the way you do it.
Exactly. Don't watch Daddy.
Like, thank God she's 3 months. She's still
not making memories. Like, it's fine. So I do it, and like obviously after it was over, I got her back upstairs, and then I went down and took care of it. But like after that, the cats didn't fuck with me. Like it wound up being a total power play. Because from then on, I was top dog in that fucking house. I shit you not.
You marked your territory.
Yeah. It was just like, oh yeah, you think you're hot shit? No.
Yeah, you look at your cat and you're like, that's how a man shits, baby.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of like you're living with roommates and you forget to clean it up, and a roommate goes downstairs and they're just like, "What did the cat eat?" They're just like, "Holy my god!
How much
Look at the size of that cat shit?
How much did she drink?"
This is the gross version of that fucking George Clooney story, where it's just like that's what actually happened to Clooney, and he just told everyone it was a practical. Oh, George Clooney told this story about how he used to stay at people's houses, and all week he would stay there for like a week, and every morning he would wake up way before everyone else did, and he would clean the cat's litter box and throw it away and like make sure that there was no sign of it. And he would do that for a week so that people would start getting worried about their cat. And then on the last day, he would take a human George Clooney shit in the litter box so that they would be like, "Oh my god." That's like a thing that George Clooney used to do because he thought it was funny, and he's fucking George Clooney.
I hope that's how he won his wife. Taking a giant shit in their litter box.
I feel like I have to talk about my piss habits now. I feel like I'm the one who's left. I've I've only pissed intentionally in toilets and in bodies of water, except for one time I was out in the wilderness wearing my bathing suit. No one was around, and I was on a rock, and I had to go, and I couldn't find my way back into the water. And I'm like, oh, I could piss on this rock. And so I pissed on this rock, and I was so delighted with myself. It was so funny to me that I pissed somewhere weird that I immediately told one of my guy friends, and he was very unimpressed. And now I know why. Is because guys
piss everywhere.
We piss our
Piss
pants,
anywhere.
we shit the bed, we go on water balls and pour it down the drain.
I don't. I remember one night I was at
What's the show devolved into?
We're just talking about.
This one time I pissed myself.
I fucking pee my pants.
Here's the thing. I know this sounds like a flex, but I promise it'll come into play later. I was at a rap party for a show for a Comedy Central show. A show I was not on, by the way. A show that I was just there along for the fucking ride. So on our way to the after party, I was already so fucking drunk that I needed to pee. But in downtown LA, they're so used to drunk people just needing to take a piss that every building is like, no, you can't piss here. Get the fuck out of here. So I went to 5 different businesses looking for somewhere to piss. No one had any. So eventually I just went behind a Popeyes in fucking downtown Los Angeles in an alleyway behind a dumpster. And I'm barely standing up, just pissing out behind this dumpster. And then another man in a suit walks next to me, stands next to me, and then starts peeing as well. And just looks at me and goes, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
And it was just like
Get your
fucking
own.
nature's urinal. And it was,
oh my god.
It was that was one of the nights where I realized that I had to fucking stop drinking as much as I did, because after that piss thing, I went to the after party. I kept drinking, and that's when I started doing this really fun bit that I used to do, where I walk up to people at industry parties and go, "Hey, what's your job?" And they'd be like, "I'm director of marketing or whatever the fuck at Viacom." And I would be like, that sounds very important. You should take my card. And then I would hand them my social security card because I thought it was real funny.
The best thing about that bit is how, like, right after the bit, you're like, I need that back.
I need that really. Thank you. Yeah, I was there with my at the time girlfriend, and there's a reason that we don't date anymore, and that she says that I'm kind of a giant man child. Yeah, imagine having to follow a man who pissed behind a Popeyes everywhere, just being like, "Do you have my boyfriend's social security card?"
Steal his ID. He literally gave it to me. And
Why does my identity keep getting stolen?
I knew that none of them would steal my identity because as soon as I had it, I was like, "What do you do?" And they're like, "I make $100,000 a year." I'd be like, "Yeah, perfect. Here is my social security card."
But what a flex if they did, though. Like, I don't even need this. Like,
yeah,
fuck
I just
you.
want it.
Just teaching you a lesson.
Somebody said I should show my card on the air. Like, I didn't give out my address the first time I did this show.
It did. If you go back and watch, you know exactly where Armando lives, and actually how to get into his house too.
Yeah, luckily I don't live there anymore. I've moved.
So now some random.
I wonder
person
why.
just has people
Yeah.
coming in.
Armando, did you need to move because of that show? You're like, oh, fuck, you had to move.
Too many people were coming by. I was on the Star Tour.
God, I wish. No, this seems really sad, but there was a guy I watched a guy get shot and killed outside of my old apartment. And I had a full week where I was like, I don't want to live in a place where a guy got fucking shot and killed, and there's like gangs everywhere, but also they have really good tacos in the area. And I really did struggle with that for an entire week, where I decided, should I break my lease or should I stay? I almost stayed just for the food.
And you're like, you know what? I can come back for the tacos.
No, you gotta. There's something amazing about walking outside, going to a taco shop, stepping over a dead body, and then being home just to eat them immediately. So
You had me for a second there, because you were all like, a guy got shot, and I was just thinking, and I'm just like totally on board, and I'm just like, oh God, where is the show going now? And then you pulled it out at the end, and I'm like, oh, thank fucking Christ, because otherwise we were gonna have to like top that, and I don't know how to.
Oh yeah,
shit, man.
I mean, think about the piss and shit that guy. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. sign like you are now entering LA. Come for the corpses.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Pico Union, dog. Crazy place.
Here's what I think. I would get worried. I'd be like, what if that guy had a taco, died, and then the proprietor shot him to make it look like he was killed with a bullet, but he actually died of the tacos. It's a cover-up. It's all a cover-up.
Fuck, I didn't even think of that. Shit.
The police are in the pocket of Big Taco.
Sitting there with a wall of like restaurant menus and like string everywhere, just like it's all. I'm telling you, it's all connected.
Yeah. The habanero sauce is too spicy.
Pong pong, yo quiero Taco Bell.
There are a couple great places to get food like all over the place, and I think like I always feel like I'm in the right place sometimes to get food especially when I was in LA. Like I'd go to Koreatown and I'd be like, I don't understand anybody in this restaurant, and I don't understand anything on the menu at this restaurant. This is exactly where I want to be eating, right? Just point at something, I know generally what it is, and then figure it out from there because the food is so good in LA.
That's what I'm saying. So in my old neighborhood, there was dudes that would just set up a grill outside of their apartment building. It's not even a taco truck. It's literally just a guy outside of his house with a light, a boombox, and a grill and a dream. And he's just making tacos, and no one speaks English, and it's amazing.
I love that. I love that so much. There's a joint that I just heard about here in Everett, Massachusetts, near the casino, which is a food truck that serves real Brazilian hot dogs. It's one of the few places where you can get it. And those who don't know, a Brazilian hot dog is topped with like 30 different things. There's like other kinds of meat on it and different sauces and all sorts of shit and like coleslaw, and like it's this huge thing. And I'm very excited to try it. But its hours are like, it's like 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Right? It's like one of those places, which I fucking love. Those are the best places.
It's like a place where you have to take a breathalyzer and tell that you're drunk.
Yeah,
like
you have to be
sober,
drunk.
You
Yeah.
can't eat here.
You're going to complain to somebody about the cleanliness if you're sober. But
Y'all
are you
have
drunk
danger
enough?
dogs?
No, what's that?
Y'all don't have danger dogs out there? It's
No.
Danger dogs are they sell them. It's like you can get them anytime there's a big concert or a Dodgers game that ends, and it's street vendors that sell hot dogs wrapped in bacon with mayonnaise and like grilled onions and bell peppers. But they're just like they're sold on the street. They're just like portable grills that people have on wheels. Or like one time I saw like an ice cream cart that somebody had emptied out, started a fire inside of it, and then put a baking sheet over it, and then used that as a grill to make the hot dogs.
Love that. That's ingenuity right there.
Yeah, it's cancer, but like it's so
I
good.
mean, but until then,
Yeah,
they said I guess a report came out saying hot dogs take like 30 minutes off your life. What? And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah.
35 minutes for every hot dog.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, ripped Joey Chestnut, 1983 to 1789.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
It's fine.
Like, to me, that just like sounds like a journalist who doesn't understand, who like read like a press release that was based on like experiment that used like 10 people and one of them like wandered off. Like it just doesn't sound real to me. Like I feel like there's like a lot of bad science writing.
Yeah,
this is the worst. Sorry, go ahead.
It's either a shitty study or a shitty understanding of a perfectly fine study. Like the study said something else completely, and they're just like, yeah, hot dogs aren't good for you, but like it's fine. And this person was just like 35 minutes every fucking hot dog. Yeah, it's very rarely do you see the reporting accurate.
I'm reading the report now, and I like that it says the study also said that eating a serving of nuts instead of hot dogs could help you gain 26 minutes of life. And I'm like, who's going to be like, oh man, I really want a hot dog, but you know what I'll settle for? Give me a serving of nuts. Just like that really hits the same. What?
I just did some Googling. A hot dog takes 35 minutes off your life. A cigarette takes 11 minutes off of your life.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
kidding me?
no, like hot dogs are pretty fucking bad. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like that was that meme going around of like, you say you don't want the COVID vaccine because there's nothing in it, but then you eat a hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that cigarettes come in 20 packs and hot dogs only come in 8 packs. Fucking cigarettes, you can't get a 20 pack of fucking hot dogs. That should kill you.
legally not allowed to do any more than that.
Yeah.
Pissing in a trash barrel actually adds 7 minutes to your life.
Are you
So
fucking kidding me? That means a pack of cigarettes takes 220 minutes off your life. A pack of hot dogs takes 280.
Oh
This is
man.
upsetting. I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
that's why on packages of hot dogs now there are pictures of stomachs that have eaten hot dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that I can just talk about like that's how unhealthy hot dogs are. That's why I never do it.
that's why they have to retire.
Smoke some weed and eat some fucking Sour Patch Kids.
The thing about hot dogs is that they're so wildly unhealthy.
Paramount of fucking health you are.
That's
Oh,
why I
God.
never do it.
This is like the best food podcast ever.
We live in healthy.
All right, friends. Everybody's munching food and taking drugs. I feel like we are reaching the end of the show. So if anybody has any final words on secretions or foods or any of the fun crazy shit we've been talking about tonight, let it go now, or you're out of luck.
Or forever hold your piss.
Yeah, hey, there it is. There it is.
Piss off. Go forth and pee freely.
Yeah, everybody go pee somewhere that you've never peed before. That is my challenge to you. But if you get caught, don't say it's my fault. I want to thank all of my guests for being here. Armando, JR, Justin, Rachel, as always. It's been a real pleasure. I want to thank everybody out there watching us. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. We got a bunch of stuff going on every week. Rachel's going to be doing a show called The Joy of Posting tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, where she writes jokes on Twitter. It's really fun. Until next week, friends. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you then. Bye.
I think I just got a cavity in real time.